Well, hello there, YouTube. And, welcome to the 8th of February. Today is Saturday. This has kind of been the day in my life. Wet. A couple of times the sun came out, but when the sun came out, it rained the hardest. But look at this when you look west. Why, oh, why is there blue skies and a beautiful sunset going on out there? So, you'll notice there's some parts missing here. Before this gets all out on the interwebs and it becomes misinformation, let's give you some correct information. So, we built, or Ryan built the petroleum metallic and this one, and he complained about the petroleum one, and then he was really complaining the next morning because he goes, Pops, he goes, something's wrong, this thing doesn't fit right, you know, getting excited like a young guy does. So I said, well, let's take a look at this thing. So I did a search on the internal dealer forum that they have. It's nothing but dealers and BRP technicians. There's no trolls in there. But anyway, fitment issues. A couple of things we noticed that Ryan noticed is, one, these rubber pieces around the rear handguard for the passenger fits like poop. I mean, really, really bad. And there's nothing about this in the instructions, but Ryan noticed that these were zip tied and the holes were not aligned. So the first thing he did is he goes in there and cuts the zip ties and then discovers there's no bolt in the setup instructions to put in here. So he's like, oh man, what's going on? So he used a license plate bolt. We have a bunch of those because the Rykers and the new F3, F3Ss use this wood screw instead of a regular nut and bolt thing. So in the forum, come to find out, BRP obviously knows all about this, and we're not supposed to cut those zip ties because this is molded incorrectly, and there's some new parts coming, and all the ones that have these will get the new parts. So I just took this one, we just left the bolts in, and I come out here to take the bolts out. See how when this is sitting aligned correctly, the bolt hole doesn't line up. Well, they purposely have the zip tie going between the inside around the plastic base and the in this little tab. It just between designing and engineering and actual production, there was a snafu. Those things happen. You can see this side also has the funky shape thing. So new parts are coming for that, and really tricky to get that zip tie back in there. Really tricky. You almost need to take the trunk back off. But I discovered if you take the shock off the front seat, I just heard it click when I was sitting there. There we are. So if you take that shock off, you can swing the seat all the way back. The shock normally stops it right here, so you can, you know, check your, sorry about the wiggling, check the oil, add fuel. But if you flip that out of the way, you can stick your hand in there and grab the zip tie as you push it through and force it back up through the cover, and then you can come up through this hole. You can see how I did it with this one. So that's basically holding that cover out away from the hole, so it's purposely not aligned, because you can see the tabs will come right out of there. Those are just alignment tabs, and that's all supposed to sit there nice and birdie like, and it's not. One of the other things I got asked if they're putting the belt dampener arm on these things for 2020. They are for the I don't know if it's just a limited or it's probably the T and the limited. They're limited. There's 5 F3s this year. There's a F3 standard, F3S, F3S Special Series, F3T, and F3 Limited. And I think probably the T and the Limited will have the belt dampener on it. The RT does not have it. Didn't notice anything when I was riding it at all. And the F3s were the ones that got the most complaints, not the RTs. the RTs kind of became one of those web things. Although, that being said, when my belt wasn't adjusted correctly, I got the vibration as well. And on some of them, even with the belt correctly tensioned, you would get it based on certain RPMs. So if you already have one of these, and if you noticed, or if you notice on the floor that these things aren't aligned correctly, don't panic. They know your VIN number, and it's going to get some replacement parts for it. Cool, man. I see they got a revised... see, that's nice where it guides the pin in. I didn't notice that change. I noticed the label for checking your oil, which is right next to your dipstick. How do I check my oil? I don't know. Read the sticker. What sticker? The one that you tripped over getting to your dipstick. That one. Oh, here I'm sitting down lower. There's probably a better look at the oil filter down there. It looks like the same deal. You need to click your reservoir loose. There's a little safety piece so it doesn't automatically or easily pop off, and then you just kind of fold that out of the way, and you can reach right down there and get to your oil filter. Looks like the air box is it's got that secondary plenum or baffling like the previous models. Man, look at the dirt I got on this thing, all done already. Somebody needs to clean this thing. Man, who left this thing in such a mess? When I was looking underneath there, just to verify that there's no belt dampener on there, yeah, there's a lot of dirt. Riding on dirt roads is not a good thing. Anyway, look at the shock and stuff back on here. I'll be back. Seat shock is installed, you know. Swing over to this side. There's the top of it right there. It's kind of buried in there. You don't see it once it's on there. I was going to show you the mounting of this quick access cover. It's just using body panel clips, and you just push them in the series of holes. It makes that you guys that own scooters know the sound of that creaking plastic sound when clips like that pop out. Don't panic, it's not hurting anything, it just makes a scary sound. But it just pops in. Just grab a hold of it and start peeling away. It's even got a little deal there telling you pull it, which is sitting like that. Holy moly, what happened to the trunk? Whoa, what's it doing up there? So anyway, I popped this off to show you guys. It's actually easier. Well, I think you have to. There's no actually about it. You got to pop the rear seat loose, and it just pops up. And you have one connector, which is really cool, is because the cover that goes over the connector plugs in to the coupler and becomes the waterproof seal for it. And then it has a little trough that it sets in back there. But it's a two-part deal. It has the forks, very Harley style. If you guys ever had Harleys with you know how the way their quick release bags and stuff go, you have the hook up front, which is this right there. One on each side, rolls in, grabs a hold of that, and you push down, and you have a secondary lock system. Here you have to push this to release it from those bolts or studs, and then once it's down from the inside, you have a final lock that's a lock. Unless somebody has the key to get in your trunk, they can't take your trunk off. But all the wires all go into one coupler. Nice waterproof coupler. Very straightforward and simple. And if you guys have looked into the Link accessories, there's like coolers, and it doesn't come with it, but you can get the color matched panel that sits in here. If you ever looked at an F3T that does not have the tour pack on it, that panel just pops. Well, there's some push pins on it you got to take up. That panel pops up. The one for this, I don't know what locks it down. If there's some kind of a tab, I haven't had one in my hand, so I don't know. But you can put a color matched panel in here and you make a bagger out of your RT. So just imagine a nice color matched little piece back here, or trunk, bags. It's all kinds of stuff for it. I don't advise you propping your trunk up like that. I just did it for show and tell. That is not a safe place to leave your trunk. Man, that works slick. But do pop your rear seat off and push it forward. It interferes when you're going back on. I just slid it back down there to show you guys what it looked like. Oh, that's nice. It's got little rubber shims in there so that thing can't vibrate around. But here's the coupler coming from the tour pack. And I just pop, see little grooves. It slides in here and all goes into place. And then let me just plug that back in. And one of the other things I realized when I was putting it back together, this lever, the unlock lever, green means you're safe. Red means you're not locked down. So keep her locked down. But it's metal. That's really nice. And then you got USB. No more of those janky adapters for cigarette lighters you have to use. I love that stuff. Just want to show you guys something here. I mean, you can make it wiggle. No lock tab. Let's just take a little cruise over here. I'll show you guys the difference. There's all my stuff from riding home yesterday. So the new 2020 F3s have the link system as well. So you will now see that same lever in there, and you'll have the release underneath. But look at the difference here. Flimsy whimsy. And then, you know, if you had something in your hand, you can do it one-handed, but there's no shock. You let go and she's coming down. And if you shut it with one hand, it's so flexible that happens. It doesn't fit in the groove. So you got to be mindful that you come down even so that both of these tabs line up. And again, because you have to unlock that, but you need to come nice and straight. Look at it. It's clear. It's clear. It's in. Now you can lock it. Them days are over. Still love the old F3 though. They're a good old gal. Even though in comparison she looks a little dated. But that's alright. There's still some F3 love out there. This one, you don't even think about it. I'll grab it from the side to show you. It's in. It's in. It never misses. Let me show you this so you don't think this is the way that thing flops around. So this coupler, the harness side, has clips that hold it in place. You see, nothing moves, and then that rubber boot with this clip down, it holds that boot in place. How I had that thing taken apart, you don't have to do that, so just be mindful of that. I'm thinking, you know what, they're going to see that thing flopping around, they're going to think that's cheesy. You don't have to take any of this off, but I do find that getting the tour pack on and off, it's easier to pop. The seat just pops up from the front. It's got these tabs in here, right there. It just pops up and then slides forward and out. But and I think it's just maybe it's the padding of the, I don't know. It just hits it. It just makes it. You could do it without it, but I would recommend popping the seat up. But you don't have to pull this coupler off. With the trunk lifted up and unlocked, you can reach in there and squeeze the coupler and slide it out with this left in place. So, anyway, loving this Spyder, man. Whoa, look out, Stool. He's out here trying to trip me. Yeah, I woke up thinking about this thing. Man, oh man. You know it's right when you think about it all the time. I think about it sitting out here and I go, I need to go out there and just look at it. Man, oh man. She's a pretty one. One thing I was going to do when I came out here was to swap this keychain thing I've been packing around for years now. This was actually on the 2015 F3S demo that I rode for quite a while back in 15. And I had one of those little piston things that I used for the 2014. Well, I kind of adopted that, and that's been with every Spyder so far. And it was even on the little receiver thing for the little RF key for the Ryker. That was on that. So she's gotten passed around with every Can-Am 3-wheeler, as they refer to it now as Can-Am 3W or Can-Am On-Road 3W. Cool. All right, we'll see what that little woman's up to back in there. Still pouring down rain out there. Son of a gun. Well, hello there, YouTube. So we're standing out here in the backyard.
In the dark and the cold.
It's not raining. It's blue skies, full moon, or at least close to a full moon. And the heater's running in the shop.
So you can't
so we're
hear
just going to do it out here. And we've got something on the cooker, and we have a limited amount of time to do a goodbye. So I said, let's just stand in the backyard and do a quick goodbye.
Yes.
It's just us doing our goodbye thing anyway. Ain't got nothing important to say today.
No, it's just a chill day.
Chill day, pouring down rain, sideways wind, and then at the end of the day, it gets nice. There's some clear skies down there that came this way, and it's been wonderful, but dark.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was in the shop. I heard it pouring down rain several times.
Yeah.
So it didn't completely go away.
No.
But anyway, we're just going to make it a quick goodbye. And thank you guys for watching all that stuff. Let her do her little goodbye. We're going to eat some chow.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. And you guys have a wonderful Sunday or Monday.
I hope I got that GoPro pointed right, because all I see is a black square thing in my hand.
Yeah.
And it's just, by gosh, by golly.
Yeah. Somewhere in there we're...
Got the shop lights and everything else. All right. Thank you guys very much.
You guys take care.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye now.